Hey, it's Saturday morning, April 29th. So I've kind of, I think you've noticed the video tempo has gone up. Maybe it's the spring weather. It's still cold, but the snow is gone and there's sun. There's a lot of noise still, and then, the weather is warming up and everything. So, everything is turning around now. Finally, this winter is getting over, and maybe that's why I want to record more. So I record one video now for my personal YouTube channel, and then I'm usually recording on a topic for Restack, my company, which I'll drop the link, and probably I'll just include it in the YouTube links if it's not there already. On the lower right side of the screen, there's a series of links that we have. So so what do we talk about today? I think, what's a good topic? I don't even have any idea what I know. I want to talk about something, I guess, I was talking to my fiance. That's such a strange word for me. Usually it's like girlfriend or wife, but I never got used to this French word. But that's what you are when you're between girlfriend and wife, when you're now starting to have to make plans and organize paperwork. Getting married, it's done it before. There's a lot of paperwork involved. It's not you just go to the chapel and do it. You have to get some documents ready and what have you, and there's a lot of government stuff, bureaucracy. So I was just talking to her about how life was in America, because I miss America a lot. I think I've talked about that in a few videos, but you come to the realization that you were just in a hamster wheel. But there's a lot of good things about it, during that time, when I was living there, and especially in the last 3 years in Delaware, that was probably my some of the best times I had in the U.S. And also I think when I was living in Florida, when I was in the Navy, when I was in my early 20s, I was living in Tampa. I was stationed out of Tampa in MacDill Air Force Base. I was assigned over there and having a really fun life. It was like a sitcom almost. This was pre 9/11 America. That was just a different time. But it was like living in a sitcom. Everything was fun. Everything was funny. There was no real stress. The biggest stress is what are you going to go out to eat? I guess there was financial stress, car payments and rent. But, I was in the Navy at the time, and once you get, and the salaries were pretty low, but you find a way to live off of it. You find a way to save a little money every month, and you find a way to live economically. And, there's always that hope for the future, that keeps you going, that you're going to earn more and things are going to get better, eventually get your own house. And I did. I moved to Virginia Beach, 26, 27 years old. I was jogging one morning in a neighborhood close to the ocean front, and I saw the real estate agent putting a for sale sign in front of the house. And I asked him how much, and he said $153,000. And I said, I'll take it. So I called up a real estate agent friend of mine, and she organized a deal. I had this VA loan. I was able to get the house, no money down. And that was a lot of money, considering I was earning probably less than $40,000 a year. So, but you get this VA loan, they're kind of betting that if you stay in the military, your salary is going to go up and, you're not going to default on your mortgage. But I got into that house within 30 days. I think 30, 40 days, I was able to get that mortgage. And then I started renting out the extra bedrooms. It was a 4-bedroom house. And so there were 3 bedrooms upstairs. And then there was 1 bedroom downstairs. So I was living downstairs and I rented out all the rooms upstairs. And I actually got the whole mortgage covered. And then the stocks started going up. The Microsoft, I was just buying Microsoft and buying a few of these .com companies. I remember one, Excite at Home. And all that stuff shot up like I don't know, $48,000, $50,000 in a day, and I was able to buy the furniture and everything. And you're just flying high, and I should have just stuck with buying blue chip stocks and buying American real estate. I don't know. Then I tried all these different businesses and everything, and all these different ideas, and you come to find out that buying this is not financial advice, this is just life experience, just buying low risk quality assets, American assets, and maybe like Northern European, like in Norway, or like where I've lived also, buying these kind of things in these kind of stable countries and buying stocks in big companies. That's probably the way to go. You're not going to lose all your money. Probably it's going to take a long time to get rich, although sometimes these companies will surprise you, like Microsoft or something. They just surge out of nowhere. They just don't do anything for a while, and then all that process improvement they're doing and all that R&D they're doing, they get some breakthrough product, and then they just go to another level. It's like Amazon. It was just putzing along for like decades, but if you would have just kept buying, and then it just takes off. And Nvidia, this is what I'm into now. They're kind of now starting this surge. They're still not even at an all-time high. They got all-time high when it was like Bitcoin revolution, with the graphic cards. But that's like a sliver of what they do. Their main business is like these AI applications, like self-driving and this GPT, which, like I said, it's I did 2 Python assignments that would have taken like 5 hours. I managed to get them done in an hour each yesterday. It helped me with like some of the nitty-gritty stuff. I mean, you still have to know how to construct the program and make sure that you're doing the right things. But like when it comes to making an expression to parse the data, that used to take me all the time to develop a regular expression, test it, bulletproof it. The GPT does that, and that's like monkey work. You're looking up and you're just /s/lowercase s plus all this kind of stuff. The GPT can sort that out for you really quick. You just drop in some data and you say, just write me an expression to parse this and get the email out of this gobbledygook, just to collect the email addresses. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's something in America, you really feel this systematic progression. And they say it's dead, but I don't know. If you study something worthwhile in college, nursing, medicine, law, engineering, computer science, and then you go join the military, get your student loans forgiven, or you do it before and then go to college later, so you're not paying for school. And you use your GI Bill, and then you get that VA loan, and then you just shack up with some roommates for a while until you meet the love of your life, and then you kick out all your roommates, and then she takes over. But hopefully she has hopefully by then you got your finances squared away, and then you move, things just move forward. I mean, you don't get any vacation, but I tell you, when I was living in America, I didn't feel the need, really. You always wish you had more time off, but you had a lot of friends and good times at the office. There's a lot of shenanigans going on, and people are pretty loose and gregarious. But it does take a toll on your health. You forget to do your workouts. You start eating all that. Your metabolism slows down, and you're getting all that food delivered. The companies in America are pretty good about feeding you. You just go on some menu. I remember when my very first job before the Navy at Price Waterhouse, and this was back in '93, they had an intranet, and you could just choose meals from the different restaurants in Chicago, overtime meals, and they would bring it right on your desk, like the Berghoff and all these different places, all this like rich, tasty, fatty, greasy food. And so that starts piling up, and then so yeah, that's why I had looked to move to Norway long back, and then in Norway, the life is it's definitely not as intense as in America, not even close, never will be. And everything is work-life balance. You get a lot of time off, but unless you know everyone in the office really well, you really feel alone. And there's a lot more politics in the workplace in Norway. I'm not sure why, because everyone's job is comfortable and secure. So you really have to watch what you say. And, I don't know, I guess being the odd foreigner, you really stand out, and people are always curious, and you become like the topic of gossip, because really Norway is pretty boring. Everything works so well, and everything looks the same, and everything is actually so good. It's like a hospital. Everything has just got a system and an order and neat and clean, and it's like Germany on steroids. Everything is on time, and you just the boredom. I guess boredom becomes a problem. There's really no challenge or no driving force. I mean, yeah, if you miss a project deadline there, yeah, people are upset, but it's not the end of the world like in America, where things get hysterical. So in America, you really feel like you're on this like varsity football team, and you're all trying to drive for a touchdown, and the whole team celebrates together. And in Norway, people are, work is just something you do. And when I was running the team there, when I first got my first job there, and I brought in all these people from India and Ukraine, it was easier to create that culture of driving for goals and celebrating together and having this urgency. This sense of urgency is not in Norway, like to get something done. And, even if you have to sacrifice a vacation or a weekend, I mean, you really can't do that there. So they don't have this sense of urgency, and it can be a little tough. It was a little hard, even though all these other things were so good there. Like the work-life balance. I didn't have to have a car. The doctor was free. I mean, I was dropping weight, getting healthier. They were paying my gym membership. I mean, when I was working at BlackRock in the US, they took the gym away at the office. Some manager said that could be more productive as office space, and it would save them having to, open a new office or something, or it's like it's just like Americans, Americans with MBAs. I mean, I'm one of them, and I look at the world like that sometimes too, like look for micro efficiencies. So yeah, that was kind of interesting and fun, but and as I said, so yeah, but and like here in Ukraine, there's something in the middle. Like when I went to visit my workplace the other day, you feel something. You feel something when you work here, like some camaraderie at the office. And I don't know if it's the war or, just people here are a little bit more American-like that way, that they're all working towards a cause. I mean, I would still say the teamwork is much stronger in America. Here like getting people to communicate and open up is a little bit harder. It's like in Estonia. I used to live there, and I think it's just people that are naturally more introverted here. I guess techie people tend to be naturally introverted. In America, I mean, even though you're an introvert, you're told you need to communicate and talk. It's just cultural. So, but yeah, you do feel like this team esprit de corps here. And in Norway, like I said, once you get through that 6 months, the job, you're on a team, you're doing teamwork, and they do get stuff done in Norway. I'm not saying it's like they don't, but they get routine stuff done. The innovation, trying to do something new and push the envelope. That's so over there. I mean, but I have to say, like, a lot of things were invented in Norway, like object-oriented programming, I believe, originated from Norway. It was just perfected in America. So they originate the ideas, but they have to end up going to America or Germany or someplace like that to push it, to get that urgency and, keep iterating. Because in Norway, you'll be stopped up with holidays and everything. And like I said, if you're having a family and everything is going, then it's perfect. You just get some, comfortable job, and, you just do your routine and you focus on your life. So these are just things you got to be aware of. I mean, like today, I was just really having like some serious America withdrawal today. Really, but I look back and it was, the work was good. I mean, there's things getting done and you're learning a lot, but, and the food comes to your desk and everything is just too easy. But it's like you get, it kind of drugs you, it's like very comfortable. That hamster wheel I was talking about, that proverbial hamster wheel, it gets comfortable. You stop on the way, you drop off your clothes to the cleaners. So I was getting everything done. I had a cleaning lady, I was getting my clothes washed. So all I had to do was work and then go to the gym, exercise a little bit. But granted, I wasn't losing any weight. I don't know, I would go jogging and I would still add weight because I was eating all that rich food. And I think the biggest success if you want to be successful in America, you got to control your eating. You've got to get that under control and resist all that temptation. I mean, even all this organic food at Whole Foods and stuff, it's a load of crap. It's just marketing. You have to. I don't know how you do it, because like I said, for a chicken in America to be marked organic or range fed, it only has to spend the last 6 hours of its life out in the sun before it goes slaughter. So it's a same chicken, except these ones that are marked organic have to spend like 6 to 8 hours, or I don't know, a day or two at the most outside, and the rest of the time. So yeah, all that labeling and stuff is misleading. So I'm not sure how to do it. I guess you cut all the carbs, and sugars and everything. When I went to visit my mom, I mean, there was sugar and everything. I mean, I was just eating her homemade Indian food at home, vegetarian Indian food, and that seemed to do the trick. And that's just some lentils and rice. And she used to buy this rice from the Indian grocery store, versus like this Uncle Ben's rice, which is loaded up with chemicals. So, I don't know. I think that's the trick. That's the trick to succeeding in the U.S. is, self-control. It's real. I think that's the test in America, is like having self-control. If you have self-control and you can really have an eye on your, you have a goal, like you want to save like some $100,000 to have a down payment on a $500,000 home, and you can resist the temptation of, $600 a month for this new car, but it's like $600 a month for the next 10 years, and as soon as you take it off the lot, you're upside down. So if you can just be a little bit smarter, and I mean, live within your means, it's like, but there's all this pressure, of course, if you work in a company like BlackRock, and there's like some houses nearby BlackRock, they're like $70,000-$80,000, but it's like it's not such a desirable area. But the smart thing would be to go buy one of those houses and just deal with your crazy neighbors for a while, and then put that thing on rent, and when you have your money saved up to move to a better place. But most people just go rent the nice apartment further away for $1,200, $1,300 a month. This was 10 years ago. I imagine now it's like $2,000 a month. These rents have probably shot up. And commute to work. So you really have to, I think, to be successful in America, you have to really go on this off-beaten path and really do things differently than the crowd. And you have to kind of bear the consequences. I mean, I was living in like downtown Wilmington, and at night there was like, there was a kidnapping, and, I'll be just straight up. Most of my neighbors were African American. A lot of corporate people aren't comfortable with that. I don't care. I actually made friends with a bunch of my neighbors, and everything was okay. I was watching their kids and doing their math homework for them. They were supposed to be tutoring, but I was like, okay, it was so much fun to do algebra again. And the kid was getting like 100% and everything, and shoot baskets. I was like, for me, it didn't matter, because I was like just trying to save up money to move to Norway. So I was like, and a lot of those, it wasn't so bad. I mean, at night, yeah, it was a bit dangerous at night, I have to admit. There was, I was taking a walk at night, and the cop stopped me and asked me, like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why are you walking alone at night? What's wrong with you? And me and him actually became friends and everything, and he used to see me in the donut shop and all these places, and funny proverbial donut shop, and say hello to me. So I mean, yeah, I guess that's what this video turned into, is like advice about how to succeed in America. It's really just self-control and going on the off-beaten path, and really being realistic about living within your means, because once you start paying these high rents and taking out loans and stuff, you just fall behind. And like, if you get a new car, the insurance is high, and there's all these like hidden costs in America that eat up all your money. So the taxes in America are a lot lower than in Norway, but when you add up all the insurance and all these like little knick-knack fees, and the fact that you have to depend on an automobile, it's probably the same. I looked at, actually was saving more money in Norway. I mean, my salary was comparable. The cost of living in Oslo was higher, and the tax was higher. But I was saving more, because I was eating from the supermarket, and restaurants were just too cost prohibitive. It was like blatantly cost prohibitive. So I was, yeah. And I'm actually in Ukraine saving a lot, because I don't have the mortgage. So, but I don't know. There's a side of me that wants to come back to the U.S. Definitely, there's definitely a side. It's I was born and grown up, and I know how to work that system. And actually, after living abroad so long, I've really gotten an outside perspective, on how I would work the system if I was going to do it all over again. But anyway, take care. This is the workout time.